Greetings, Colina SatMom, coming at you today, April 3rd, for a weekly energy update. So please bear with me. I've been pretty sick this week, so I will try to get through this quickly without any sort of coughing or weird things happening. So thank you so much for showing up and watching this. So we've got more big changes on the platter. I know we were like, oh, March is the big astrology, but everything's big right now. And it has been like all the astrology has been really big for really quite a while as we're ramping up into this process that we're all going through collectively right now, where we're collectively getting a chance to reassess kind of our own personal shadows and our kind of original wounds that we still operate from, and we can't anymore. So this whole process is helping us to we'll end up re-feeling and re-experiencing some, again, things we thought we've dealt with, or things that are still lingering in our nervous system and our psyche in some way that is finally, like, layer after layer is releasing. And you can probably look back and notice these same things that may come up this week have come up previously. And this is either like more intense or less intense. But the thing is, now it's like taking the last bits of whatever is in you so that you can be really aware of what your inner realm is feeding to your outer realm, so that we can decide consciously, oh, wait a minute, that's actually not true anymore. At one point, it could have been super important for us, and now it's just not. So big changes, big releases. The full moon's Wednesday, so we're still leading into like big awarenesses coming in, lots of things being illuminated given the light of the moon, and opportunities just to like be really aware and allow that release for yourself. So it's really like important to slow down. Luckily, there's no snow outside anymore. Slow down and be really present with what's coming up instead of projecting. Understand this is a core wound of yourself. Anything that's reflecting outside to you is not happening to you, it's happening for you, so that you can say, this thing's not for me anymore, and I release it. This may happen for some relationships. It's not that every person we know can be best friends all of our lives. Like, relationships come and go, and they have their seasons, if you will. And there are certain ones that are here forever, for life, for many lives, and there are certain ones that kind of come and go. And especially where places where we've perpetuated toxic things, where we're not looking out for our own best interests and everybody else's best interest, or there's anybody's best interest being sacrificed for what feels like the common good. It's not. Because in reality, everybody's common good is everybody's common good. Like, if somebody's not getting the best of the common good, then nobody else is either. So as we work on healing the shadows and the inner child things, and we show up for the inner child wounds that have been kind of plaguing us all of our lives, and noticing like those are the things that are like at the source of the places where we just don't feel like we're enough or we're receiving enough, whether that's money or good connections with people, love. It's our inner child wounds that block those things. So as we heal and start to show up more and more for those childhood wounds, and our inner child is never looking for that person that damaged us way back then to come back and apologize, which is nice. But at the same time, if that person apologizes, but we still never show up for our inner child still doesn't feel safe. It's only us that they're looking to. So this is what SatMom is all about, is, creating the inner resilience to stand there in the pain of your inner child and just support yourself like you would another divine being. If you know a child that you love, like, know that that is yourself as well. And to be able to learn and begin to bestow that kind of love back on yourself is really important here. So we are opportunities for new abilities to come, so we can explore while allowing play and contrast to guide us. Whereas before, because of the nervous system and the trauma in the nervous system, the contrast that we experience gets kind of locked onto and pinpoint focused on. And when we focus on the contrast of when we focus on what we don't want, we create more of what we don't want. That's how big our energy is. And that's how big our focus is, how much energy our focus actually has. So healing work done this week, and that doesn't mean like I'm going to sit here and go through it all. It's just being present in the most compassionate, loving, juiciest way for yourself that you can be, and like keep it light when you can, play when you can. So everything that, however you show up for yourself this week, will have great rewards moving forward. So, if we're not taking the time to slow down, like give yourself at least some moments daily, as much as you can, to take a little break and be with yourself. Pay attention to your nervous system. When you feel like you can't slow down, your nervous system is unregulated. We need to ground, feet to earth, deep breaths. There are so many different ways to do that. You can just search how to ground. You can do meditations. You can do guided meditations. You can do Kundalini meditations are wonderful. But pay attention to your nervous system when we're really caught in, we feel like fighting or fleeing. You don't want to be where you are. That's generally because your nervous system's not feeling regulated. And even when we're going through challenging things, when the nervous system is regulated, we have the ability to stay present with it. We're not going to run off or distract ourselves, find ourselves having too many things on our list to bother. That's just a form of distraction. Oh, this week, allow the stories in your head a little bit more light, a little bit more air, so that we can consciously reevaluate them and set new inner boundaries with ourselves over what is valid for us now, what's real. For example, if we have relationships that, highlight a piece of ourselves, say it's lack or abandonment or where we don't fit in or we're not enough. What's really the problem? The inner problem is that we're committed to this line of thinking rather than committed to truly understanding that we were born enough. And we may have some, conscious, perception of, oh, I was born enough in my mind, but now's the time to take that deeper into your body. Make it the reality. So your mind doesn't always shift to the original story and you have to combat it. Oh, I see I'm making that story again. Let me just replace it with the one that I feel is real. Like as we get it into our bodies, that original story has less power. It's not going to pop up as much. And our new story can take hold. We can feel grounded with it. It can be a real part of our presence. Ooh, there's also big third eye shifts going on this week. Detoxification of all the lies we took in over our lives or over multiple lives. So again, any places that we feel like we were less than the infinite being of lights that we are, that's a lie. So there's so many levels to this because, we're taught all of our lives we're not as powerful as we are. It's a big responsibility to have that power that we do have. We are superheroes. With it becomes a big responsibility because we can focus on the negative and create that, or we can learn how to bring ourselves into our own positive, into our own presence, which is our gift. So, third eye stuff this week. You may experience some feelings here. There could be some headaches that just like anything that you can do to know what's going on and, rest your head, take care of your third eye. You can, whether that's rest or meditation, getting off of any sort of fluoride toothpaste, making sure there's no fluoride in your water. Even like you could tap it, massage it, breathing there, creating space for whatever's going on there. Notice, like, be gentle with yourself in the process. We can't force shifts, we can allow them. So showing up for that space, whatever your particular body needs with that space, No, it's not a deficit. Anything you can do to serve yourself in your shifts is going to help you shift with more ease and more powerfully. So, however, you can support yourself and help the other people around you support you. You know, sometimes we don't realize that the people that love us and that are around us don't just want our time and this and that. Like, they truly want to support us and see us doing the best and feeling the best. And, because that we're the pilot wave for the household and the family. So when we're, feeling outgoing and like we can manage our schedules and we're not constantly overwhelmed and, downtrodden with doing the work so hard. And we do work so hard. We work so hard to create what we want to create and do the healing and stuff. So it's important to take it easy. Anything falling away now has to do with this detoxification of the old lies. So having resistance to it, not supporting yourself will not only hurt more, but will hinder your overall process of evolution. So try to support yourself as much as you can. And for some people, that's like going out and doing some fun things. And for other people, it's like laying low, like really tap into what that is for you at this time. And it's okay if it's not what you expect or not what your conscious mind was to originally want. If we don't take good care of ourselves, and the body's like, I need time, you're going to get sick. The body's going to take the time that it needs either way. So, core wounds may represent themselves, representing what is still inside of you. If there's a core wound coming up, it's because it still lives in you in some piece, somewhere, some fashion inside of you. So anything that comes up right now is a huge blessing. And water can be useful for helping to release too, standing by a river, putting your feet in the river, a bath, use some Epsom salt and baking soda. Baking soda is amazing for release. You can also put some shungite or, dark stones in there, grounding stones and releasing stones. So this is an interesting one. There's a potential this week also too for deepening the romance, deepening the inner romance, not so much on the physical platform, but on your energetic platform. So when you deepen your inner romance with yourself, your romance with the entire world grows. So I would always say start there. And also your more energetic connections with your partners and the people in your life may grow this week. And that just may be something to be aware of. So we're kind of all integrating like the new awareness and receiving more upgrades, receiving help from all sorts of guides, physical and non-physical, to support the energy, getting ourselves into, so the help that we're receiving energetically is the help to bring ourselves into the energy of what we've always desired. That's manifestation. When you see what you want, but you create your energy to match that. So that's what we're getting at here. We have all sorts of help. All sorts of help. Help is all around us. So it's better for us to tap into our process and our help and our playfulness and our presence, then and dive into core wounds so that you can, maybe it's that original incident, or if you've already done that, just showing up for your inner child, letting your inner child know that you are there and you will never abandon her or him ever again. And proving that by staying and making decisions that don't abandon yourself. Ooh, okay. So Pluto in Aquarius supports the inner work to release the whole power, control, resistance, conflict, attachment thing that's going on inside. A lot of that's old training. And a lot of that is old wounds that we don't know we're still attached to. So we've also got Mars sextile the North Node and Mercury this week. So that helps you make clear, simple, informative steps towards your destiny or desires. North Node destiny. This is who you're evolving to be, who you dream to be, and can be and will be. Chiron and the sun in Aries. So major shifts available to inner child wounds, self-value, and self-perception. Just be open to it. It will come for you. You don't have to seek it out. Be aware and just be present with yourself. Every time you start to, anytime you want to go down a rabbit hole that lacks inner value, find a different resource. That's the responsibility. How much time do we want to invest in that rabbit hole versus, invest in something more positive? So do we subtly expect problems in our lives? And what are those places that we just expect problems to come at us? Those are the places that we're going to see shifting this week. So it's going to come up. You're going to feel some things. Where do you subtly expect problems to show up in your life? Love, honesty, community, safety. Safety might be financial stuff. It might be personal stuff. Okay. So this is like all physical. It's a nervous system preset. And a lot of our nervous system presets are defined in childhood. If you had trauma in childhood, your nervous system preset for a lot of your life may be fight or flight, and you not know it. So just be open to feeling more grounded, more healthy, more present with yourself. And whatever gets you to that spot, that's where we want to be following this week. So full moon Wednesday, another great opportunity, the clarity of the full moon, the release, as everything gets illuminated, we know exactly, and we may see a lot of contrast coming up because it's helping us to be very clear exactly what we can release. And anything that's like, I can't have that, we can release if we want to, and we can alchemize. So the difference between release and alchemize, so there are certain things we alchemize because that's an experience that has shifted us and we want to create the gift over it. And then there's old stories and things that we can transmute into a new story, or we can simply release that story and live in a new presence. So just noticing the slight difference there between alchemizing things to gain the present, the gift that is ultimately there in all challenges, or release. So it's all up on the plate for us this week. And, it's really just a time to be gentle. Know it's present. Know all the shifting is there. Know all the help is here for you. Anything that you need, you can ask for anytime. I'm here on SatMom Social and on my website and whatever. People can contact me anytime. And, you're worth it. So if it's a challenging week for you, know that this challenge is coming up so that you don't have to stay challenged like this forever. Move through it and access all of you. It's really here. You're here. We're here. Satnam. Namaste. Have a wonderful week.